Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, TammyTalks here. Let's talk Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 Episode 2, Need versus Greed. If you're brand new to my channel, I do breakdowns on various TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So if you guys enjoy that type of content, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, hop in the comment section, all that good stuff. Alright, so the episode starts off with we see Lauren in the hospital. So we know it's a flashback since we found out at the end of episode 1 that Lauren is still alive. So we see Lauren waking up and Jenny, the DA, is in her room with her and asking, checking on her, asking her if she's okay. So she's asking her, do you remember what happened? Lauren is like, where am I? What's going on? So we get a flashback that shows Lauren was knocked out. Remember, Effie punched her, placed her in the front seat of the car. I think was it Effie's car? No. I'm assuming it must have been a stolen car because it wasn't, yeah, they must have stole a car and put Lauren in there, buckled her in, and then Effie pushed the car into the damn water. I said, Lord, any attempt to make it seem as if she ran off the road. A man just so happened to be out walking his dog, saw the car kind of teetering, floating, whatever, in the water, called 911. They got Lauren out just in time. So we come to find out that Lauren was having a nightmare back to the day that she woke up in the hospital. Jenny happens to be walking in. Lauren is telling her, I need to see my parents. Let me at least talk to my parents. Jenny's like, nope, can't do that until we find out, what's really going on. Lauren was like, I told you, Effie tried to take me out. It was that girl, Effie. Jenny is like, but you were knocked out. You said yourself you were knocked unconscious. So we can't be too sure. We don't know for sure. We have to, we got to kind of be on the, we got to be sure. We can't, kind of just take your word for as fact. We don't have any real proof of that. So Jenny then tells her, but I need you to do something for me. So she wants Lauren to help her try to connect the dots, which are going to connect Effie to Tariq, who is now the focus of the investigation. And Lauren is like, no, there is absolutely no proof, okay, that Tariq is working with Effie and Brayden. Poor Lauren, she is still so smitten with Tariq that in her mind, Tariq is innocent. He didn't do it. I'm not gonna let y'all tell me he did it. Don't even worry about it, okay? So then we get to Tariq, Brayden, Kane, and Effie. They're meeting up at the warehouse where Noma has all of her product. So the guy that does not like them is telling them this is what y'all need to do. I can't wait till y'all mess up so I can go ahead and unalive y'all too. So they all give out assignments to each other. Brayden, you take, country clubs in this. Effie, you do all the schools. Tariq is going to do, the areas he's going to work on. Kane is going to do that. They're giving out assignments. Kane has some of the foot soldiers that the Tehadas use. So everything is cool. We're all marked out. Brayden wants to sell at Westing Holdings. Tariq was like, what, are you stupid? The answer is no. We're not going to do it. Not at all. Brayden is kind of annoying with how bad he wants to just sell. You know what I mean? So Effie got like a little attitude and she's kind of telling Tariq, some of us are only doing this because we absolutely have to. I have tuition. And Tariq is like, what makes you think I want to be doing this too? This is how I'm trying to get back to my mom and to my sister. Otherwise, no one's going to take us out. So, I don't have a choice in the matter either, Effie. I do not like Effie. I have not liked Effie since Power, the original one. So, Davis goes to see Monet, tells her that they believe that Zeke was targeted by the same shooter that Mecca was targeted, that killed Mecca. So, they think it's all connected. Zeke was just bad time, bad place. So there's no leads or real evidence pointing towards any person. So basically it's going to end up being a cold case for now. Monet said, well, she's not resting until she finds out who took her son out. Meanwhile, young Jock is on court TV in the background, and I don't know why that made me holler, y'all. So Sax and Jenny, we find out that Sax is the CI, and she's basically telling him that, look, we're trying to get this Rico task force off the ground, working with the DEA, the feds, and then us, so we can take down Tariq. And Sax is like, it's gonna be hard to get that when this is a 19-year-old kid. No one's gonna really believe that. So she tells him, why don't you bring me some evidence like you promised me you would? Be the man that you said you were gonna be, and bring me the evidence that I'm asking for and that I need. We see Brayden at work. So there's this guy that is like completely messing up, not doing what he's supposed to do. He's asleep at his desk. He even calls Kiki Omarosa. Brayden is kind of looking like, okay. So she tells him, do what you're supposed to do. I don't have time for this BS with y'all. So Brayden goes to ask her if she's okay. And she was like, do you think we need to make America great again? And Brayden was like, no. So she's like, okay, cool. No problem. And I'm like, this is such a weird, random, low-key, unnecessary scene. We get Tate. So Tate is in his office. The DNC chair is coming to visit him, telling Tate your numbers suck. Okay? The poll numbers are in the trash, they're in the dump. Like, you need to start running political ads. What is going on here? Where's the wife that's going to be hanging on your shoulder? You need to get an intern. You need to do all these different things. Otherwise, you are going to lose. So Tata's like, yeah, Sweeney did not go off into the night like we thought. Sweeney is funneling money and all these donors and stuff like that to the competition. So Tate is screwed. We get a scene in class where they're talking about need versus greed. Tariq said that greed is just another word for growth. We then see that Diana cannot afford her books. So Effie, who built a friendship with her last season, asks if she needs to borrow her books. And it's interesting to me how Monet and Lorenzo Tehada are supposed to be these like huge drug lords, right? Supposed to be these huge drug lords, but they can't figure out, or they don't have the money to buy her books. She can't buy her books. And yes, I know college books are expensive. I went to college. But they don't have what, $1,000 or $2,000 to give her for books. That just doesn't make sense. So Effie tells her, look, the TAs keep books. Go ask him for some. I don't know, something about the way that this TA is around Effie, I still get the feeling that he is going to be a CI as well. I do not think that this the sole CI that Jenny has is Sax. I don't believe that. So the intern that we saw earlier at Weston Holdings ends up getting fired. They said he had incendiary, content on his computer. They didn't find a tiki torch or like a little Hawaiian shirt, taking us back to when the MAGAs were marching. And he's going off and he's like, my dad's gonna sue you, and my dad is one of the biggest lawyers. Womp womp womp. Boy, bye. You weren't doing no work anyways. So next thing we know, Brayden is admitting to Kiki that, yeah, he's the one that did that. And the two of them go up to a private floor and have the sex. I said, what is going on here? Okay, whatever. Tariq gets to Tate headquarters where he is supposed to be working. And we see Big Bang Bisha, a.k.a. Bruchandria, is working as the new intern. And Tariq was like, I'm supposed to be the intern. Why did you give her my job? And Bruchandria was like, he didn't give me anything. I earned it. No, I get what you're saying, sis, but he did give Tariq's job away to you. That's what Tariq is saying. Not that you didn't earn it. So Tate tells Tariq that your image and what we thought we were going to do is not going to help my campaign. So I'm not going to F with you on this. Good luck in the future. So now Tariq is out, the credits that he needs for his class. You probably have to have an internship. Kane is talking to Lorenzo, telling him that Drew is messing up with Everett. So Lorenzo said that he is not going to move any weight for a connect that Kane has that was connected to Mecca. Lorenzo said he ain't doing it, okay? Not gonna happen. Kane said, I'm ready to take over. You keep saying that that Drew is, when Drew is the one that keep messing up. He missed this. He walked out of a meeting. Drew is not ready to take over, but I am. Lorenzo said, well, Kane, you were disloyal. I did not forget that you were working with Mecca from behind our back. He said, if you want to help me find out who killed Zeke, do that, and then maybe just maybe we can talk. I said, Lorenzo, you got some nerve, because it's crazy how Lorenzo is going in circles and doing the absolute most to try to cover it up. You're making yourself look obvious. So we get Everett and Drew. I'm so sick of Everett. When is Everett gonna get his? It's coming. So we got Everett and Drew. Everett is apparently transferring to OKC, or is he entering the draft? I don't remember which one it is, but he wants Drew to come. Drew was like, as a +1 to show date, and Everett was like, no, I just want you to be there. I'm not ready for the world to see that. Remember, Everett is still on the down low. So he then tells Drew, don't get greedy. I get this is my world. And Drew was like, don't get greedy. Like, how do you think my family is dealing with this? This is a big deal to me too. So Everett is like, this is the biggest night of my life, and I want you there to support me. Like, why does the label even matter? And I do not like Everett. I don't, because I feel like Everett is just one of those people that, I don't know. Something with Everett is like super, super, super. I don't know. Everett is given. I can't even explain it, but Everett is given. I want my cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? Like, Everett is not fully out, so then you can't be mad that you're with somebody that wants you to be out as well. You know what I mean? I don't like Everett. He's too whiny. You're dating a drug dealer and a killer. Get over it. Either like accept that part of his life or don't. But like, it's so annoying. So then back at the Tehada house, we see Evelyn. Remember, Evelyn is Frank's widow. So we see Evelyn. She brings some food over to Monet. She said, after the funeral, people stopped bringing food. She was like, but I want to come over and check on you. She said, just a FYI, Detective Whitman has been sniffing around Frank's death. So I just wanted to give you that heads up because you looked out for me. Monet tries to give her some money for the tip. And I'm thinking, so you got money to give this woman for giving you a tip about a detective, but you don't have $1,000 to give your daughter to buy some books for school. Destined to make your daughter fail in life. Easiest way. So Evelyn is like, nope, I don't need the money, and gives Monet some money and said, this is a thank you to pay you back for what you did for me. The fact that Evelyn keeps coming up in this story, Evelyn's gonna play a bigger part very, very soon, I feel like. We get Effie, Brayden, and Tariq. So they are hanging out, talking, and Brayden tells him that the internship opened up at Weston because we know that Tariq lost his internship and he needs those credits. Brayden was like, no, because Tariq was like, no, we are not going to move weight and sell drugs at your place. You're too hot. Like, what is wrong with you? Again, Brayden is being annoying. Tariq said, look, my only thing is to get through with this so I can get back to my sister and to my mom. Effie was like, nah, you should really take it. Brayden is like, my uncle will be a great reference and I'll handle my dad, because Tariq is like, your dad do not want me there. So Tariq gets up, walks out the room. He gets like a phone call, I think, after agreeing to finally take it. Brayden is like, we need to tell Tariq about Lauren. Effie is like, no, we don't. Brayden is like, we can't take this down to the grave. Like, I don't want to lie to him for the rest of my life. So we then see Kane is talking to, or torturing, the pilot, and I think that was like a security guard that was working in the hangar at Mecca's plane when Zeke was killed. So he's like, he has a blowtorch and he's like burning their hands and their ears trying to get all the information. The information that they give is it was a bald guy with a black jacket with a lot of chains and stuff on and a broken tail light that was out. And Kane, you can see Kane piecing it together, and it's like, cool. So we see Brayden's father is more than pissed that Tariq is working there. Meanwhile, his uncle is like, this is an innocent kid. It's going to look very racist of us to not allow him to work here. Affirmative action, inclusivity, diversion, all that diversity, all that stuff. So Brayden's father was pissed. Brayden's brother is like, so what? We gonna be off for Juneteenth Day now? I cannot stand Brayden's brother. I can't. So Monet's driving. She gets put over by Detective Whitman, doing too much. He's asking her about Carrie Milgram. And she's like, I had nothing to do with her death, and you know I don't. Detective Whitman said, well, Zeke came to see me. We got you on the traffic cam that, at the red light camera close to her house or her apartment very soon after she died. Or in that time frame. So she then tells him, if you had something, I would be in handcuffs and you wouldn't be sitting here, doing the most right now. He was like, knowing something and proving it are two different things. Yeah, you sound stupid, Detective Whitman. So before he walks away from her car, he breaks her side mirror. Monet immediately calls Davis, who is screaming at Sax and said, find out if your little girlfriend has somebody that is casing and working, that's casing Mecca's house or, interrogating Monet Tehada, because what the fuck is going on? He then asks him, what's going on with Theo Rollins? And what's going on with Theo Rollins? And he is like, I don't know, get on it. I don't know. I wonder why Davis isn't looking into Theo's case himself. Do we know why he hasn't just done it himself yet? Maybe I'm missing something. So Drew is getting ready to meet up with Everett for his signing day, and he gets jumped by somebody for killing Lil Guap. Now, a lot of people don't know that Drew is the one that actually did it. So this man beats him up and then puts LG or put some type of symbol, the guap symbol, on his back before spitting on him and stealing his chain. So Drew goes, next thing we see is Drew back at the house with Kane, Lorenzo, and Monet. Monet is tending to his wounds. And Lorenzo was like, this is probably the same people that killed Zeke, so you need to go handle this. And Kane is, the entire time, Kane keeps looking at him like, okay. But he always goes and does what his father tells him to do. So we see Diana going to get some books, or going to borrow books from the TA Salim. He's like, how is it that you got a Balenciaga backpack, but you don't have the books to go inside? Diana tries to say that her family fell on hard times and her parents had the money for tuition and room and board, but they don't have the money for books. So he takes her to this little Black Student Union hangout spot that's for the minorities on campus, and tells her that a lot of the Black students work there for extra money. It's not going to make you rich, but it's enough for you to cover your books and to have some spending money. And one of the perks is that they give free candy. So while Diana is there, because she's getting ready to start working, he goes and gets her a name tag and all this other stuff. We see Tariq and Effie come in to buy some candy, pick up some stuff, and Diana kind of runs in the back to hide from them because she doesn't want them to know that that she's working there. So Brayden then meets up with Tate and gives Tate a wad of money to thank him for not hiring Tariq. I said, see, we're friends like Brayden who needs enemies. Ain't that some shit, y'all? Brayden is getting on my nerves. That's why I keep thinking that Brayden is the CI. I really feel like Brayden is the CI and he's either not doing what he's supposed to, or this is just part of his bigger scheme. But wow. You get that much of a rush from selling drugs that you're willing to jeopardize. I'm so sick of Brayden. So then we see Rodriguez meets up with Jenny to tell her, look, We can't get the green light for the task force because my boss, the upper heads, they have a really hard time believing that this 19-year-old is a drug kingpin, right? When would he have time? When would he have the access, the money, the opportunity to do it? So while they're talking about that, Whitman walks in. Jeannie is like, "Didn't I tell you not to be out here bothering Monet, Tehada, and all them people? Didn't I tell you that?" And he's like, "Look, you need to not, one, you ain't my boss. Two, you need to worry about what I know. The real head of this organization is Monet Tehada because she has, she had to connect with Ramirez, excuse me, Ramirez, who was in the working in the armed force, Lord, who was working in the police, who was working for the police. He was a cop, and he was the one that was like doing a bunch of unsanctioned calls with them. He got the Weston kids off when when they got arrested. He got Kane off. Like, he's been involved. This is who you need to be working with. Is not all on Tariq. So we didn't see Everett is mad that Drew didn't come. Drew was clearly beaten up. Everett is like where you beat up because of a drug situation. I said, Everett, go somewhere, bruh. Nobody has time for this with you. You're doing a lot. You're doing too much. Again, you knew what type of dude Drew was. Drew clearly couldn't make it because of something. Did you want him to show up looking like that? So Everett basically dumps him and said that this isn't what he wants to do with his life and it's too much drama. So now Drew was on a rampage. So now Drew was on the rampage. So earlier we saw Brayden was able to convince Tariq to sell at Weston by telling him that he sold X amount already, and this is the connect, which is the guy that is the personal trainer at his job. He apparently puts the weight into like protein powders and stuff like that. So they figure out that we can do this amount of bricks in this amount of time in this building, and we can start to really make some real money. So the plan was for Tariq to set up a personal training session, and then I guess they're going to do whatever they're going to do then. Because Kane is busy trying to figure out who beat up Drew, he didn't show up when he was supposed to. So Tariq texts Drew, "Kane's not here. We need your help." Drew, who is fresh off of being dumped, still pissed from being beat up, comes and does what he is supposed to do. So what they have is the trainer is going to be walking, I guess, towards Weston Holdings for Tariq's personal training session. And when they see a big truck come through, Drew pushes him in the street and he is crunched by this truck. I mean, I know that we look at Kane as like the real killer and stuff like that. Drew is who we need to watch out for. Because when Drew gets this look in his eyes, he got this look in his eye. So then we get Saxon in Davis's office snooping and finds the burner phone that Davis has been using to talk to Monet. So he calls it, Monet answers, and it's like, "I have everything I need. This is a bad time, but I got everything I need about who killed Zeke." So we get a scene where Kane finds the guy that beat up Drew. He goes in to where the Guaps hang out, kills a couple people. We see him with the guy. He takes the guy and he has him beating him up, whatever. And he sees that he has Drew's necklace and Zeke's ring on a chain. So he takes him to the bar, and Monet and Lorenzo were there. While they're all there, he's asking him, why did you kill Zeke? Like, trying to probe him. The entire time, Lorenzo was looking like, okay, this is cool. Okay, we got him ready. Take the fall from him. So Monet kills him point blank, like bang, 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 like not a second thought. They get outside. No, before that. So Effie this scene before this because I think this is important. So Effie is working on an app called Course Perfect, in which she wants to sell drugs at Stansfield. So earlier we saw Effie cutting all her bricks for all the different Ivy League schools that she goes and sells to. We saw her have a brick that says Stansfield. They were very, 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 very careful and poignant to show us the brick that says Stansfield, even though she's not supposed to be selling on that campus. So now she's working on developing an app called Course Perfect. Right before Tariq walks into her room, she hits cancel and does not upload the app. Effie is a problem. But see, Effie is somebody that is doing this because she honestly and truly needs the money. And that's the worst type of person to have involved in this because Effie is going to do whatever Effie wants to do. I don't know why they even trust her after she snitched on Therese and got him kicked out of Choate in the first place. I don't understand this. So the final scene is Kane and Lorenzo are outside with, packing up the body to go dispose of that Monet just offed. And Kane was like, yeah, I know you killed Zeke. Yep, I know it. No, you killed Zeke. And Lorenzo was like, what are you talking about? Kane said, it all went down to the plan with you hiring this dude to jump Drew. And then you planted Drew's necklace and Zeke's ring because Zeke never wore the ring. Zeke never ever wore the ring. He said, so you did this, that, and the other to set this all up down to having me go beat him up and bring this man here. He said, because I see you got this tail light fixed. Okay. He said, because when I talked to the pilot, who I had no problem finding, but you couldn't find any leads or anything this entire time. But I talked to the pilot, and the pilot said it was a bald man, that had on a jacket with a bunch of zippers and a broken tail light. So Lorenzo was like, it was a mistake. I did this to protect our family. I thought it was Mecca. I didn't know it was Zeke. So Kane said, I fucking own you now. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this bag, you're going to take this weight, and you're going to go sell it like I told you to do. Because I own you. And I said, Jesus Christ. Now, here's the thing. Good for Kane getting the upper edge and figuring it out. But when Monet finds out that Kane knows that Lorenzo did it, it's going to be hell to pay. This is not going to, it's not going to work out the way that Kane thinks. It's not going to pan out easily the way that Kane thinks, where he thinks he's just going to get off the hook for it. It's just not. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Hop in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video. Catch you guys in the next one.